Hello and welcome back to Bookmark Chronicles. Today I'm doing my August TBR with wine, because I can. This is an interesting mix of things. I have 3 buddy reads. Don't know how that happened, but here we are. So I'll mostly be reading fantasy, but I also have a couple of romances on here since I do want to try to get through my Kindle TBR. So it'll be an interesting month. Starting with my monthly buddy read with Robin, this month we'll be reading Scorpica. This is the first book in the 5 Queendom series. The second book, Arca, came out earlier this year. I haven't checked to see when the 3rd book is coming out, but I really do hope that I like this series from what I know, because neither of us read the synopsis. We just listened to somebody else talk about it. But they're at the Queendoms, and for some reason they're having, what is it called? The drought of girls. Little girls aren't being born. You can't have a queendom without a queen. So I guess they're trying to figure out how they're going to fix this. And each book is supposed to follow one of the different queendoms. So Scorpica is the first one, Arca is the second one. I'm not sure what the other ones are called, but each book takes place in one of the different queendoms. So it sounds interesting. I really do hope I like it so I can go ahead and get the next one. The audiobook of this is also on Scribd if anyone's interested, so I'll probably do a blended read of it. Robin and I are going to be buddy reading another book with another friend. So Robin, Bree, and I are going to be reading Rage of Dragons. 3 of us read Fourth Wing along with some other friends, and we're suddenly interested in reading things with dragons because that was a first for me. It might have been a first for Bree because Bree doesn't read a ton of fantasy, and I'm not sure about Robin. I feel like Robin's probably read something else, right? Anywho, wanted to read more things with dragons. This was recommended, plus I already had the physical copy. This was probably a gift from Robin or Dasha. From what I know, this has a revenge plot in it, which is one of my absolute favorite things. So that's already a good sign. And I believe it's because the main character's father was killed, and so he's planning to get revenge on the person who caused that, or the people who caused that. I think I also have the audiobook for this one, and this one's a pretty chunky fantasy, so this will definitely also be a blended read, which means I'll get to annotate it, so that's fun. Speaking of annotating, I'm gonna have to do an update to my how I annotate video because I finally found the perfect combination of tabs and everything, so I'll show you guys that at some point. And then my last buddy read of the month is going to be Fireborne. Once again, dragons. That's the theme, I guess. Oh god, okay. I made Monet read the synopsis and then tell me what it was about, and I forgot. Something to do with dragon riders, again, and the dragons are companions to their riders. And then I think, perhaps, if I remember correctly, we have 2 main characters who were friends, or are friends, but they end up being turned against each other because they're on opposite sides of a rebellion or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. Dragons and rebellion, that's all I really need in life. So yeah, I'll be reading that this month. I think this is the first of a trilogy. I could also be wrong about that, but hopefully I enjoy these dragon books and I am encouraged to read more. That is my goal. The last fantasy that I'll be reading is The Infinity Courts. This was one of the books that was on my 12 Recs by 12 Friends TBR that I did last year. I literally only have 2 books left. I don't know why it's taken me so long, but I'm gonna read it now. I think I have the audiobook of this from Libby. And this, we're following an 18-year-old girl who just graduated from high school and she gets murdered. And so Infinity is like sort of a limbo, kind of. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's sort of like where your spirit goes when your body dies. Something along those lines. So hopefully I like this. The second book is out. I think it's called Genesis Wars. So if I like it, I will continue the series. Moving on to the romances that I'm going to read this month. The first is Before We Fall. This is book 2 in the Unexpected Lovers duology by Rosie Adams. The first one was Go Deep. I didn't love it, but I read it. I believe it is also another Friends to Lovers, which is part of the reason that I disliked Go Deep. However, in this one, I believe our female main character recently left her husband, who I believe was abusive. And so she has a friend who is helping her out, who helps get her out of that situation, and I think she ends up falling for him. We did meet this couple in the first book, and I was intrigued, which is why I'm going to continue. I'm holding out hope that one day I'm going to enjoy a Friends to Lovers story, but we'll see. And the last book that I'm going to read this month is Let Me Love You. This is the first book in the McLean series by Alexandria House. This will be my first Alexandria House. I've heard really good things about this. However, I don't remember what it's about. Give me a second. Okay, this is the one that I've heard good things about from both Ashley and Heather, which is promising. It's about Jo, who's a single mom, trying to get through life and raise her little girl, and Big South is her love interest. He's a rapper, and I believe he just wants to take care of her, and she's a little skeptical, but it ends up working out. I've heard fantastic things about this, and looking at StoryGraph, I can see other people that have read it, and it has really good reviews from people that I'm friends with on StoryGraph. I've also heard really good things about the second book in the series, so hopefully I like this one and I will continue with it. Now that I think of it, I might have another buddy read. I think Robin and I are supposed to be reading Animal 3. I gotta ask her about that. We'll see. Anyway, those are all the books that I'm planning to read in the month of August. Let me know if you have read any of these or if they're on your TBR. What are you planning to read next month? Otherwise, that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you in the next video.